After they disappeared, well, they were closed down because we had a reduction in staff numbers, so we closed those press offices. And
if I've got your contact information, all this stuff I can, pass on to you, and you can use it as you wish. And then again, as you say, you've got me as a contact, and if you've got any concerns or questions, obviously if it's a crime, you have to report it through the normal channels. But if it's a question about, is this story true? Is this really factual about something that you've seen? Then you've got a contact through me. And if I don't really know the answer, or I don't know how to respond to you, then I'd go to the press bureau and say, look, I've got this inquiry, what would you like me to do with it? So that's a bit about what I do.
Communicate with you, because you know it better that every newspaper or every online is a deadline there. So if we can get a prompt response, that helps us a lot.
Yeah.
And as I was saying, that if we don't get a response, we will go with this story anyway. But it is always better for you and for us to have some substantial input from yourself.
Yeah.
and into my work. So Pete Davey from the Met's Central Press Bureau. I'm actually an East End boy, so I grew up in Tower Hamlets as well. I grew up in Poplar. So like you, I'm always keen to know what goes on in the local area. Just to give you an idea of how the DMC works, or formerly known as the DMC, we've rebranded to Communication and Engagement. That's what we're called now, which is made up of several teams. You've got internal comms that deal with all of our messaging internally to officers and staff, and then you've got marketing, which deals with things like our leaflets and posters, and when you're standing at a bus stop, the crime prevention advice poster you might see there. And then lastly, you've got the department which will be most relevant to you, which is obviously media, which in itself is made up of several different teams. So if just weren't really put in place to mitigate that, as it were. So it's a problem that's been felt for many years, and it's something that we're trying to build back with.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say, that the purpose of the meeting is that what Rafi has explained, and that they have also explained to me, that it's re-establishing the connection with the communities and the media, so that, and to find ways how can we work together better. So definitely we will have questions. All of them runs either print or online media, and I'm sure they have got some ideas to put through to you how we can work together better, and obviously what you can offer and how we can get help from you to help to write our story correctly. It's important to write
online called Darpan. Darpan means mirror. It's online and also a printed version, week, monthly, and online is 24 hours.
He's also the vice president of the club.
First of all, I would say thank you for our president, the great initiative to connecting to police authority and the other thing. And my name is Ahad Ahmad Chowdhury.
It would be useful for us to have some sort of conversation in terms of communication. So, because previously we used to have our commandant named Sue Williams, and she mentioned to me that it's really hard and difficult to have some sort of communication with local media. And when I was on street duties, I think I arranged one of those meetings with her at the time. So I think during one of the stories away, Ollie mentioned again, she's funny because she's our media and comms officer for both Tower Hamlets and Hackney. So I thought it would be some sort of idea where we can arrange a meeting, discuss ideas how we can improve relationship between ourselves. Because in Tower Hamlets there's lots of good stuff happening. Especially the information in terms of how we share information, and that's really important, because sometimes you might think we can.
And in terms of what you were saying, that crime prevention, community engagement, those two important issues. I know that for incident there is one thing, but for crime prevention, community engagement, these are the long-term things.